Hello everyone. A quick video today about syncing the Moog DFAM with the Analog 4. So since I got the Analog 4, finally I have a machine that can talk to the DFAM. I've done videos about the DFAM, it's great, I love it, but it has no MIDI, it just accepts CV. And the other equipment that I had just wasn't able to sync it up. But now I found a way, and I'm just going to show you with a little demonstration, a quick video, how I did this. And so the Analog 4 has a CV track, and I haven't gone very deep into this just yet, but basically with 4 CV outputs, you can do a lot. And a little gripe I have is that the CV outputs are on large jacks, on 1/4 inch, and would have been more logical to go for smaller jacks because Eurorack is very popular right now, and it would be easier to have cables that just go into this. I think if you're into Eurorack, you probably have a lot of cables. You have some longer cables with the small jack plugs. Makes more sense. But anyway, of course, you can get a cable with a large jack that on one end and a small one on the other end. This one actually I have plugged in here. It's stereo, something that they advise against. I've read that you should only use mono. I didn't have anything lying around in mono. I just have this one and another one that's also stereo. So I just went with it, and fortunately it works. So how do we do this? I have the CV track selected, and I'll mute the other tracks for now. Just the CV, and you can plug it into tempo here, into run stop here, and to advanced clock. And they all do something different. And just for really simple syncing up, I've found that the advanced clock is actually the easiest, but I'll show all 3 of them. So tempo will set the tempo and will not necessarily trigger any notes on the DFAM. So on the CV track, I have this very basic pattern, just 1/4 notes. And if I press play here, nothing happens because I need to press run stop here as well. Now this will start running. Just increase the volume a little bit. Also, I have this running, the DFAM, to the external input of the Analog 4, and I'm adding some delay, which is cool. But yeah, so it's playing in its own tempo now. It's not doing anything. Now if I press play here, these pulses, these notes, will change the tempo. So that's an interesting effect. It's still relative to the tempo on the DFAM. So you can do some cool stuff with this, but you can see that's not really the ideal way of, it's not actually clocking. It's not syncing up the tempo, it's just manipulating the tempo on the DFAM. Okay, so that's nice, but it's not what I was looking for. So, just stop this. Run stop then. So now what happens is every pulse on the A4 will basically press run stop. Needs to be on. And still, so this is a little bit more like syncing, because you can see it basically advances with every step, but the tempo here is still active. So you can do some cool stuff with that as well. You can find a groove here that is related to the sound, or sorry, the tempo on the Analog 4. And to illustrate that, I'll just activate the first track, unmute it, and you get a kick drum. Great kick drum, by the way, in the Analog 4. Really my kind of thing. Nice thumping, distorted analog kick. So yeah, that's cool. But as you can see, it's still running on its own. So finally, if I plug the CV out into the advanced clock, basically what will happen now, when I press play here, every pulse on the CV track here will just move the steps by 1 if it's running. And now it makes sense to have 16 steps. And now it's in sync, it's playing 16th notes at the same time. This isn't doing anything, the tempo. It's really just following the Analog 4. So that's, in my opinion, the easiest way to do this. And then of course, have some fun, add a little bass, play a little bit with the sounds here. Maybe add some noise. Here. Still have to look into this a little bit more, but there's a lot to learn here. So that's just a quick demonstration of how that works. I'm really happy that finally I have a way to sync up the DFAM, make it run at the speed that I want to, for recording purposes, for live purposes. It's a lot of fun, that machine. The Analog 4 is a lot of fun, and I guess they're friends now. So that's all for today. Just a quick video to show what I'm up to, and maybe it's of some use for you, or maybe it's just entertaining, or both. Let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I shall see you on the next one. Bye bye.